Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Choochagatari Unlimited Trainworks, Video Game Choo-Choo's anime podcast. It is October 6th, the date we are recording this. And anime, new season, so on and so forth. With me, as always, is John.
Hello, folks. I'm here and I'm ready to talk about plenty of stuff.
Good. How about you, LV? LV's also here.
I'm also here and also ready to talk about too much stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh god, things that have ended and things that have begun. That's kind of where.
Yeah, we have a whole slew to get here.
Oh gosh, yeah. I think we got to go in order. I think not to.
We do. But we do have something we have to get to that beforehand. Which was this episode is about our monthly anime. So we all watched Koufuku Graffiti, or Gourmet Girl Graffiti, unsure about which title people like to use.
Yeah. I see both.
I would favor a triple G, just call it the triple G. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. I don't know why it's called graffiti also, but, whatever.
I forgot that.
Yeah.
I don't think that was explained. Or
I was waiting for some sort of
yeah.
So Koufuku Graffiti is a 4-panel, 4-coma manga that got made into a Shaft anime, 12 episodes long. It's from 2015, not that long ago in the grand scheme of things. And yeah, we watched it. All right, last time John went first. So LV, you can go first this time if you want to discuss Koufuku Graffiti, yeah.
Yeah. What a strange show.
Yeah, I agree.
What a strange show. It's hard to... You see, I have very mixed feelings about it because I think in one way I do love, I do love anything that plays around with the concept of, I don't think this show qualifies as one of those what you would call a healing anime or healing series because it's not. It's not that at all. I think it's the opposite. It's a hurting series. I think it hurts a lot.
Wow.
But not a lot. It hurts in some places, but I think in places where it was trying to be healing, I don't think it reads well. But yeah, this is a show just about eating and about the pleasures and joys of eating and finding love in eating and like love in both romantic and I think familial. Like in eating and in food in general, it revolves around this middle school student. Watching the first episode, this is what gets me the first time. And I'm sick of anime doing this. I am sick of this. Please stop with this trope. But I think we're going to still keep seeing this in many years to come. She's literally like in middle school, I think, which is like, or maybe like junior high from what she described herself as. And she's like in this big ass like studio apartment by herself.
Yeah.
And she's fine. Like, what? That's okay. I don't know how the apartment leasing process works in Japan or if they similarly have a guarantor process where sometimes you can just get away with shit if you have, like, a parent or an adult signing away stuff, right?
So, it seems like she was living with her grandmother at the very least, because... They talk about how her parents are like,
they're
still
just
alive,
MIA,
still together.
they're away. They're around. They're alive, but they're just away. And
It sounds like they don't say what their job is. There's just a bunch of secrecy about it. Everyone just keeps saying, "Oh, it's very important, but we can't tell you."
Right. I don't know. I'm like
they might be rich, so basically. I don't know. Maybe they're just paying for her rent.
Oh no, definitely, they're definitely paying for her. But like the idea that. Yeah, you're right. That brings up a great point. I think this was actually technically her grandmother's place or something, and she was living her, and then she passed away, which is kind of the main thing of the series. But then she was just allowed to stay there, which to me is, like, interesting. And then you have her aunt, who's, like, a teacher, I believe, or I forgot, a teacher in office work. I think I'm mixing up characters, but...
Teacher.
Yeah, okay, you're right, yeah. And who keeps calling her and is constantly like, oh my god, I should step in and help her, but she never does. Like, she does
the opposite, I'd argue, at times.
But anyway, I got past that to suspend my disbelief for a little bit. The whole premise is her kind of just trying to figure out how to cook well on her own, or how to figure out how to, like, you know, enjoy the pleasures of food and prepare food properly, but without her grandmother, who kind of passed on these recipes, that who created these like nostalgic meals for her and stuff. Like, she's kind of lost on what to do. So essentially, it is a self journey through food, through exploring food and cooking. You know, and along the way, she like makes these friends too, and what have you, who are also like getting hooked in on this thing about, like, you know, and they start cooking together and they start bonding that way, and they sort of find each like their own like answers to things, and like finding the joys in life, and realizing, oh hey, you know, like it's we can just sit back and relax and enjoy these moments, because why not, right? And it's really just about finding that particular, you know, it's not really about cooking well. The point is not about cooking well. The point is not about like making something well. But if it's something that you treasure at the end of the day, you know, there's a whole episode where like she you know, I forgot specifically what's going on, but like there was a situation where she cooked something and it's like other people found it bland, it wasn't that great, but to her specifically, the main character, she was like, oh, I still enjoy this. It reminds me a lot of my grandmother's cooking. You know, that's the whole point of it. It's like it's a show about food, about not cooking well, but about finding joy in food in some way that, you know, you can make it meaningful for your own experience. Now, here's where you know, that's the healing part. I think that's a very positive, uplifting message. It's very beautiful, I think. But now here's where it gets a little painful. Of course, because nothing is sacred. There's a food porn aspect to this, right? Where you know, it's not just, you know, we're depicting the food as a very beautiful, like, very sensual, very appealing thing that I, as a viewer, would want to eat this cartoon food, right? It's like, oh wow, this is great, like the liquid, the soup, like the way it's spelled, you know, it's so beautiful. But of course, they decide to add on the secondary effect of whenever they're eating, it's very sexualized, and you know, it's worth noting this is a production by Shaft, and you know, and I've said this multiple times to you too. I'm like, they definitely staffed the weirdo with the mouth fetish on the Monogatari series to work on this show, because there's constant close-ups of the girls' mouths, and it's like, at first it's just like, oh great, I like, you know, I'm a little bothered by it, but whatever. I've seen worse, right? I've seen much worse in anime, right? It's not a big deal in a sense, but I think the main problem with it is not inherently that it's sexual per se, but they do it so much per episode, it loses the impact of, I think, what they're trying to do with it, which is to point out, like, oh wow, this is such a very euphoric experience for them enjoying food. They're like overemphasizing those parts so much, where it's like it just becomes repetitive and kind of annoying whenever they have to take a few minutes just to show those shots or to linger on those shots a little bit. It's like, oh okay, I get it. You know, it kind of gets repetitive, and I think at a certain point, I think the show too also just ran its course, where I don't think it needed to be as long as it was, even though it was only 12 episodes. At a certain point, it definitely felt like it hit its message so many times. It didn't really feel fulfilling to see what was going to happen next, because there really wasn't even much of a conflict in the show either, where, you know, I never really questioned, like, oh, what are they going to do now with this next character? Inevitably, it's the same thing over and over. Like, it's a very formulaic series, you know, like they meet a new character or they deal with a problem, they come together and eat, and usually it's a different food, so there's like a different focus on like what kind of cuisine or whatever. But yeah, there's really not much going for it. I think it overstayed its welcome, and that was the problem. I think for me, ultimately, my biggest problem with the show is that I just found it boring. So it's less offensive, but more that it just didn't do much for me beyond its surface message. So that's kind of my perspective on the series. Otherwise, it's not a bad series, but like I said, to me, it didn't really stick with me beyond, you know, kind of getting the point across after a couple of episodes. I don't know, like, I don't know like what else was I don't know what else needed to be tackled like for concurrently for the rest of the series beyond like, hey, they're just these are just girls hanging out eating food, and it's kind of fine, it's kind of blissful and fun, but that's it. There isn't really much going on for the series in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I totally get you. I think like my feelings on it were that you like every other episode. I feel well, maybe that's not the right way to put it. I feel like basically what it is that some episodes are just like mind-numbingly nothing, and then some episodes are like, yeah, this is like good. I wouldn't say like great or anything, but it's like good and you can enjoy it. And because there are just so many of them that are just like, man, this is boring as hell, it just like drags it all down. The pacing's just really weird in general. Like that episode where they had the ice cream.
Uh-huh.
That whole episode is just like what was that episode? I don't understand. Like
I think you put a great point. Like overall, I think there's something inconsistent about the series composition. It feels kind of, it doesn't feel like each episode is on the same page in terms of what they were hoping to like achieve. Like, yeah, here are the goals we want to meet with the series, but they kind of seemed like they weren't like working together.
My biggest problems with the series is just like Kieran's character, I think, because they frame them as middle school, which our main girl does not look like she should be in middle school, but whatever. Especially compared to Kieran.
Yeah.
And, like both of the other girls, and Kieran acts and looks like she's like 5 years old. Just the whole series, and it's just
she's
like
so wild.
It's like unhinged a lot of the time, and I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like at times her character is totally fine. It's totally fine to have a bratty middle schooler. That's normal. That's totally normal.
But then it's like it doesn't. And again, I think that's not an issue with the series specifically. Again, my problem about like, oh, she's just by herself in an apartment, no one's doing anything.
Yeah.
Like it's like a lot of these shows don't know what they're. A lot of these shows are not very consistent or like well thought out when it comes to the age disparity across the characters. So it's one thing to say like, oh, this character's like super mature for their age, but then meanwhile like that gap between another person of their same age is so like different. But the conditions of why they are the way they are aren't that much different either. It's not like compared to say like a fantasy series where like we can make an excuse of like a fantasy action series or something even like whatever, something of that vein, but like we can make an excuse of like a young character acting very mature or like the psychology of the way they are because they were forced in some shitty circumstance, their parents are dead, like we can make all those excuses. But this is like a show where, and many other shows of the similar nature, where it's just grounded in reality. It's not really, there isn't really a justifiable reason to explain or suggest why their personalities are the way they are. I mean, I guess they don't have to explain it, but it's jarring. I agree with you. It's jarring. And also, like, in terms of character design, too, I also agree. Which was, I think, a point we made about the Fishing Club anime. Yeah, it was very similar to that,
yeah. Yeah, it's just, like, I feel like having the two characters of like she's really mature for her age, and then the other girl's also really mature for her age or whatever, and then they have like she's incredibly immature for her age, like all together. Like it's just like there's no one normal. I don't know, like it's just
there's no one.
Yeah. It would be one thing if like she was acting like a normal middle schooler, and then the other two were like just like weird, and she's like, "Damn, they've got it all together" or whatever. But like, no, it's just like two wild ends of a spectrum, basically. And yeah, I don't. Yeah, I feel like I don't know. I don't know what my feelings are really. I'm kind of with you that it's just sort of like I'm just like, it's fine. Like I didn't have any strong feelings about it. The animation's really, really good. I'll say that. They're little eye catch. Well, not maybe they're not eye catches, but the things at the end where they have like the do. I love that.
It's very good. It's very cute. Yeah.
That's a great little thing to do. every time.
A
I
great
like
earworm.
that. Yeah. Like I said, like the animation's great. The scene with the pizza is incredible.
That's the best episode.
It is. It's really good. Yeah.
It's
really
so insane. They like ordered pizza and they just lose their minds. I think.
Yeah, I
think
get it.
Yeah, I mean, corn on pizza.
So John, how did you feel?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I fucking hated it.
Whoa.
I agree with y'all. It was super boring. I actively disliked it.
Wow.
I was like, I was like falling asleep watching it. I was sitting there when you were all talking about the characters of the show. I was like, what fucking characters? What? There's nothing to these characters. I mean, they are a collection of concepts. They are not a character. They don't change at all throughout the entire show. They are the exact same thing. The entire show could have just been one episode because the entire thing is just, wow, isn't it nice to eat food with other people? That's it. They say that over and over again. She realizes that like 6 separate times in this show. It's insane. And listen, you all, I didn't go that into it, but listen, and I don't think I'm projecting here. I really think that they wanted these characters, because they are cousins. They wanted these girls to be fucking. They were full on, there are full on shots. It gets lesser as it goes, but in the beginning of the show, they are absolutely all over each other. They are sharing extremely romantic glances at each other. They are hugging and up against each other like people that are dating. It is very, very incestuous. It is not okay. They pull off of it like around the halfway point, I would say. But it's really not okay. It's really, really not okay. And I don't know. I think the food porn aspect, the quote unquote actual porn aspect of it there, where they're like moaning and groaning as they're eating, I would be less bothered by it if they didn't acknowledge that it was weird. Like,
yeah, they actually outright point that out.
Like, it still sucks.
Like, what?
It still sucks, but having characters be like because there's the two main girls, and then they have like their friend or whatever, their rich friend. They go over to the rich friend's house to eat, and then her mom is like sitting there like, wow, I'm so glad that my daughter isn't the only one that does that when she eats. Like, that's not funny. That just makes it weirder.
I thought that was funny. I thought
right, because normally when you see stuff like that, you're just like, at least my assumption when watching something like this, like, it's usually like, oh, this is just me. This is just an exaggerated, in my viewpoint as a viewer. In universe, that's not actually happening. That's just like a weird, funny, exaggerated thing, kind of like anime, like other anime special effects, whatever, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's actually acknowledged in universe that is exactly what is happening.
It's just like
By an adult.
I'm just imagining the mom like sitting there and having to hear her daughter like coming every day that they're eating. It's like, that sucks shit. It's stupid as hell. It sucks. I don't know. It had a couple of nice moments, but like, I just when I was done with it, I was just like, thank God. I'm so glad it's over. And like the friggin' grandma. There's like 30 images of that grandma in their home.
She was
She is dead and she can't defend herself.
Yeah.
No, but that's true. I definitely agree with you now that you're bringing it up, because, yeah, there technically wasn't even much development, as much as I'm trying to say, like, yeah, it's about, like, trying to discover yourself, but you're right. There really wasn't any changes, though, in what their perspective was. Yeah, because it's kind of like the main character, she was just alone. And then when she started getting friends, that kind of basically resolved, like, the crux of what her problem was. Yeah, and then that was it. There wasn't really any other problem after that.
Yeah, her cousin coming over in the first episode solved every single problem in the rest of the show.
I don't know what was up with her, like, hating her food. I thought that was going to be a plot line that they were going to explore, like, that, like,
Yeah, but they
learned
didn't really.
from, like, other, other people bringing in a little spice of life or something, but it's just...
That could be something!
Hey, it's good. And then she goes, really? Eats it.
It was always good.
And then that's it.
Good. It was always good. Wow.
She was just depressed. Like, when you're depressed, your sense of taste gets worse. I know that very well. And she was just fucking depressed. She felt better because she had someone in her life to cook for. That was it. End of show. This could have been a one episode of VA and it would have been okay. But... it's 12 fucking episodes of the same thing over and over and over again. It drives me nuts.
Sometimes you just do that. I don't know.
No, I don't. I don't want to do that. It was so much. I don't know. I'm not gonna like say that people who watch like. It's fine. If you like this, you like it. I don't care. It's okay. You know, I'm not gonna come at you. I was just ripping my fucking hair out. And I haven't felt like this about a show since we watched Yoshiki. But at the very... okay, listen. I at least understand that Yoshiki was just, like, explicitly not for me. Like, I get it. I get that you all liked it. I get that people like it. I really can't grasp why someone would like this. Like, if you do, that's fine, whatever, but, like, you might have to explain it to me. You might have to sit down and say, John, this is why I like this. You know, like, because if it's just, like, watching people eat, and that, like, I don't know, I mean, like, Food Wars exists, and I feel like that's... okay, and I feel like that might be easier to jerk off to, so... I don't... yeah, maybe I'm just talking... I don't fucking... like, I don't know. It's just... it was so mind-numbingly boring, and it was so nothing, and, like... it was just, like... it was also super paint by numbers for Shaft. Like, everything that you, like, needed to happen in a Shaft anime just happened. Like, but it was super shoved in there. Like... oh shit, this one girl just did the head tilt for no reason, you know, like, it wasn't even like they were trying to be mysterious or whatever, it's just like, she was just like, oh, I need to do the head like, it's so much, man, it's so fucking
I think
much.
the head tilt made sense, because the Sheena character is a twisted individual, just in general, so it makes sense for her to do that all the time.
Okay, she was for, like, an episode, and then they just became friends, and then she's just like, wanna come over?
She's still like, twisted, I don't know,
she's
like...
not twisted.
The Omurice episode? What the hell was that? Like, she's just like, so we're not gonna go to sleep, and we're gonna go out at 5 a.m. or whatever, and buy
all they
eggs.
ate was
like,
Omurice.
what?
I don't know, I just thought that kind of
like
just...
rich.
I mean, yes, rich people are twisted in of themselves, but I'm just trying to say, like, I don't know, it didn't seem that fucked up in context.
I remember the thing that really fucked me up is that flowing noodles thing.
What about it?
Where they set up the bamboo. That seems like it sucks. That doesn't seem fun.
That's just a thing it's a Japanese traditional thing.
I believe that. It doesn't seem fun.
Well, I mean, that's not necessarily, like, her fault. Bring that up with Japan.
I'm just saying, I learned about that, and it was immediately like, this is dumb as hell. I don't know.
Again, bring it up with Japan, the country.
It just seems annoying. I don't know.
Alright, well...
also, like, Kieran's a real twisted motherfucker in that episode, where she's just, like,
she's twisted in general.
Eating but she's, like, eating all the noodles, and everyone else is just left down there, like, I guess I don't get any noodles.
Yeah.
And she's like, I didn't eat any. We need to make more for me. And it's like, oh my god. I'm sorry you had such a bad time. Yeah,
I mean, it's okay. I'm glad that I'm done, but, like, it was, like, I was, like... okay, I'm gonna be real here. Like, near the end of the series, I was absolutely, like, super toned out, and I was, like, you know, like, futzing around on my phone or like playing around my 3DS, and I would like not watch the show, and then I would look up like after like a minute or two, and it would be like I didn't miss anything. It would be the exact same conversation. It would be the exact same plot point. Nothing would have changed. I didn't miss shit. It was so boring.
Well,
And yeah, that's my opinion.
yeah, that's your opinion. It's fine.
I guess
That's what we're here to do.
yeah.
Be honest. Be real.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
I guess I will real quick read the one opinion that we got
Yeah, sure.
from Gregory Zero. Again, if you want to send in a question or opinion, it's videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask. He says, Koufuku Graffiti was a great time on the second watch, with the weird family undertones not rubbing me the wrong way this time through. I'm gonna wait to say anything. The eating scenes are still very eye-roll worthy, but they do get played for laughs as the show goes on, which is pretty good. What I had written off as just one of those easily ignorable mid-2010s Shaft shows is one I can now pretty confidently recommend. I personally disagree with like every word in that, but alright, that's fine. You like it, that's okay. I that's fine.
I agree with the. I did genuinely think that it was funny as the. Like every food show is just horny all the time about it. I thought it was funny that they were at least everyone else was like, y'all are freaks. I don't know. What's
Yeah, no,
wrong with you?
that like I felt like towards the end there was this vibe that there was a little sense of self-awareness. I agree, like especially when they started actually showing other characters around them like normal people. But there's no normal person in that group. That's the problem. But like in context, it definitely did, I think, have some sort of comparison when it comes to like them versus the world they live in, where they do actually what they're doing is not like normal. So there's that at least, I think.
I guess so. I'm sorry that I am not into it, I guess.
That's fine. No, it's fine. It's we're all about opinions here. We're all about opinions here.
Well, there you go. That's it.
Okay. Okay. All right. LV.
Yeah.
LV. Let's start with the end of season stuff for you. What would you like to start to talk about here? We have quite a few. Tell me about God of High School, because I saw Son Goku on Twitter or something. I don't know what's going on with that.
I will try my best, but I don't think I understood what happened.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And that's like the main problem. So okay, essentially, like literally, I think 5 episodes left in the series, in this core. There's one of the competitors. He's like twisted. He fucking summoned a shark in the middle of battle. He pretty much killed someone.
No.
But that person's okay. Again, insane. The competition's like, we have all this like technology we can revive and fix up all the contestants participating. But point is, they are a twisted individual who's very hungry for. So this is what I'm understanding. So again, I could be wrong. Anyone who actually reads the series, let me know, and correct me. But they're very mad with power in terms of like I like in terms of like actually having a literal god complex in a sense, because Jin Mori, the main character, who actually wins the God of High School tournament like legally. This other guy's not having it, and again, it's been established that there are like otherworldly forces intervening, and in some manner, the corporation funding and sponsoring this competition is like in on it. Like, there's parts of it where they're trying to rig it so Jin Mori doesn't win, and there's other parts where they're trying to like get certain competitors to win instead, and they're literally like intervening by incorporating like the divine forces in some manner to like stop this tournament for some reason, because in reality Jin Mori has something going on here, and this whole time apparently he has had amnesia, and he does not know what his real identity is in terms of like why he is so powerful the way he is. And the obvious answer is like because he probably has god powers too, right? But anyway, there's this whole conflict where this one character is trying to intervene on the whole thing. They literally open up a portal to the heavens. There's this fucked up monster that's basically like Cell from Dragon Ball, like coming and sucking up people. It's really gross. They got rid of that though. But I think so again, I'm a little confused as to what's happened here. I think in due time that monster and this other guy fused. So essentially it just boiled down to like all these characters having to deal with now this super monster and this guy mad with power trying to take down everyone because he's upset that the tournament results did not go in his favor. And that's kind of like the gist of what happens. At the end, they end up like creating this whole like basically so the way it ends is like, oh, the God High School tournament's over, whatever. But now they end up meeting like they now realize that they have to confront like now all these like otherworldly beings now kind of unleashed in the world. Well, not literally unleashed in the world, but now who kind of have to step in like on Earth because now all this bullshit happened. Whether or not, but ultimately, I don't know if the season 2 will be guaranteed for the show, right? Because I don't know, like, how's it going on, literally, in terms of ratings and numbers, in spite of my own opinions about the show, right? Or in spite of everyone else's opinions about the show, right? Unfortunately, numbers do matter, which is both a good and bad thing, though. But it just kind of ended on a very confusing mess. So, like, my quick summary of what happened at the end of the show is that, like, there was a monster, there was, like, a big monster, it got bigger, it got worse, and then they defeated it. The end. And there's supposed to be more to come, even though the competition's over, because now it opened up a whole can of worms in terms of like what sort of divine forces are now at play and are gonna like meddle now with earthly affairs, right? But yeah, this is like unfortunately I think a very disappointing show. It started off very strong. Again, as a huge Dragon Ball fan, I'm like, oh wow, cool. This is like a show obviously inspired by it. It's already explicitly said it's inspired by it. And it's cool to see such a more grounded take on the show. But it's a shame that it went a direction where it clearly tried to put too many eggs in one basket, where it wanted to incorporate so many like interesting ideas, but in such a way where it makes no sense and it's very confusing at the cost and sacrifice of like just not developing any of their characters. Rosie brought up like last time, like, like the other times we've talked about a show where like even the main trio, like the whole like friendship trio we could have going on with the three, it doesn't even feel like they're friends. They like barely talk outside of the context of like the main conflict going on. They haven't really given us time to sit down and just kind of take in and absorb their relationships with each other, be outside of like the fighting stuff. So it's like so there's a little disbelief as to like understanding that there is a sincere bond between the three of these characters. I think the first half was definitely much stronger for the reason where like it felt like solid. It was like, okay, there's like a main goal here. Like there were some like weird pacing issues in regards to episodes jumping around and stuff, but it was fine. But the second half got really messy when they started introducing the more supernatural elements to the show. Like, oh wow, there's like actually gods and godlike powers at play here participating, where they keep introducing all these characters, they keep throwing all this backstory in your face, and then that character is never seen again after that episode. Like the show has amazing character designs and like such a great diverse array of character designs, where yet it doesn't give us any time to invest on any of them, on who these people are. I literally cannot name anyone on the show besides Jinmori, the main character. I even keep forgetting the two other main characters' names. I just say Glasses Girl and the other guy, right? But yeah, very, very disappointing, like, show how it turned out. Unfortunately, it's one of those series where it looks beautiful. It's, like, honestly has amazing animation. The choreography on the show is stunning. Beautiful, like, fight scenes. It's very, very fluid, very direct. Like, it shows you everything, whatnot. But, yeah, a shame. It's something I can't recommend, unfortunately, because it's just so confusing. And I think, and again, I've never read the webtoon. I don't know how it like really pans out ultimately, if this is accurate as to what happens, or if the anime did a huge disservice in terms of like properly depicting what's supposed to happen. But I think it's one of those cases where like you can see a bit of this for preview, right? And then maybe you can go everywhere to actually check the series, the actual webtoon series online, because it definitely becomes a confusing, jumbled mess. And it's a shame because this is also an established studio that has adapted this. So, So yeah, that's a thumbs down for me for God of High School. Fortunately.
It's really a bummer. I haven't watched that one we were looking at.
Yeah, did that start yet?
No, please. It started today.
Oh, okay.
I believe so. Anyways,
Right. Right. It's giving such a bad impression of what these series are.
yeah, what these are, yeah. And I feel like
again,
at
I
least,
think there's a issue where they don't know how to handle
Yeah.
the source material because
Yeah.
it's so different from manga or traditional comics. It's very the pacing is a different beast to handle, I think, and I think it definitely needs a team of people who kind of know what to do with that in a thoughtful way. But I think they crammed way too many. Like I feel like the series is not as like cram packed as it actually should be, as the anime suggested it was. I feel like there was more spacing of time between like each of the stuff happening, and it's better to absorb information that way. I feel like there's like a sense of like things were rushed because they weren't sure if they were going to get everything in, right?
it feels rushed, but at the same time, it also feels like nothing happens in like some of the episodes of God. Well, at least the ones I watched of God of High School, where it's
Right.
just like fucking like nothing happened. Like it's just like. You'd think like an episode's gonna be like, all right, they're gonna focus on this fight, and the fight takes 1 minute or something like that. And it's
Right.
just like Jin Mori beating them instantly, or the other guy beating them instantly, and it's just like, okay,
That is what's most baffling about this show. The fights are very short, and the rest of the episode is like something else. And that is what's most fascinating to me. I like it has, which is bold, because if you think about like other action anime, they link around the fights for a very specific, like to stretch out time to like, oh yeah, this is good. They actually like speed through these fights like how they would like realistically. Yeah, they would go fast. If someone's getting their shit beat out of them, they're not going to last long, and they're not going to stretch it out. But then the rest of the episode is nothing, or like they're entering some plot thread that is confusing, and they're not really explaining it properly, right? Yeah, it was just messy. It's just not yeah, the series composition is not organized, inherently, and that was the big problem. It didn't know if it wanted to focus on the fights or if it didn't, or the melodrama, right?
what a fucking show.
Yeah, what a fucking show. The opening, though, I will stand by. I do love it.
Yeah, no, it rips.
Really dumb dubstep thing. I love it. Does not
And just the
belong in this
AMV
year, but it is
imagery.
what they use. I know, it's incredible.
Some fucking After Effects shit. It's yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see what else. Decadence. We could talk about that,
Oh. Yeah.
and then I'll let you say something, John. I'm sorry to leave you out here.
You're okay. Go ahead.
So yeah, Decadence is done.
It's done. Wow. Just wow.
Yeah, I think the ending's okay. I wasn't like,
Yeah.
this is amazing or anything, but it was fine. It wasn't bad.
I mean, I feel like that was like expected.
Yeah,
Not to go into the other, but like that's expected. But I think I do overall like. If we're talking about that very specific thing, yeah, I think that was expected. And it was like, I don't know. Not that I'm against it. I'm like, oh yeah, I love it. Great, happy. But at the same time, it's like I don't know if there was a way where they could have. I'd be interested if like there could have been another interpretation of like how that stuff happened, right? But I like the overall like optimistic message of don't let corporate overlords take you down. They can be defeated, which is
Yeah.
a nice thing. I think that's overall nice. They didn't go through some cynical, absurd thing where you have to go through a whole oftentimes and stuff like this where it's very pessimistic where like although that might be the ultimate end goal, like where there's a positive message like eventually the smaller people will overcome the bigger people, but there's some insane like walk around to get there, or like, oh, we gotta have more suffering in between. Whereas like that wasn't really the case here. I think it did like a very straightforward kind of path of uprising to like which was like nice.
Yeah, so like the big
yeah.
thing that I liked about that is specifically like usually in these shows, whenever they have the people do their revolution or whatever, and then they win, it's like damn, but everything sucks for everyone. Like Final Fantasy VII, here's a great example. Advent Children, okay? In Advent Children, everyone's fucking dying from Sephiroth cancer.
Yeah.
Whatever. And
Yeah,
the
there's
world
still like a consequence.
sucks.
Yeah, it's like there's a suggestion there's still like punishment or consequences because this happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
whereas in this case, no, they got
no, yeah.
There's
And-
no suggestion something bad will happen. At least, nothing. Yeah.
They think that it will. That's the thing. That's the thing. This is the message that I really liked about it was like in the second to last episode, I think he has that conversation with his friend, right?
Right.
Inside of Decadence, and he's like, "Hey, like, we need to stop this." And he goes, "It'll just be worse. Like we had this happen because we didn't want like bad things to happen anymore. So we need like basically corporate fascism or whatever. Like we need this like to survive." And if we don't have it, then everything will suck. And then it was fine. Because, like, again, and that's a great thing, like, because that's what people in real life say, It's like, no, we need these systems to be the way they are, or it'll be horrible. And then it's like, no, you don't. Actually, you don't, And I think it was a good way of doing that without, like, doing the thing that I think a lot of them do, outside of even the consequence thing of just, like, framing it as, like, a libertarian type thing. Mm-hmm. This is much more unified and, yeah, coexistence, etc.
Yeah, it didn't need to also go, sometimes too they often feel the need to, which is an important conversation to have too, where there's often internal division too and like conflict. They didn't even explore that at all. I think they explored that with the little alien robot people anyway, to an extent, and how there's like different beliefs as to how to get things done and whatnot, but they didn't explore that at all when eventually, again, I don't know what they're called specifically, the little robot. Did they have a name? I feel like there was an official term for them, but I didn't. It's totally out. They're little Tamagotchi things. Their union with, like, the normal humans, like, that wasn't an issue. They kind of just came together, like, very seamlessly, and they realized, oh, okay, we're in, like, a very compromising... there's no reason to kind of start having like some sort of sudden schism over what should be done next. I think it's very nice that they showed just a very nice idyllic portrait of something unifying happening in a revolution versus like we gotta show all the realities of imperfections and whatnot, which again is a realistic thing. It's a thing that happens now. It's a thing that is happening now in our reality, right? Over how to get things done, right? It's like, oh god, great. But ultimately, the end goal is the same, and it's nice to see that they didn't have to like linger on that just to paint like a bleak portrait of like, it's gonna be hard. Like, no, we don't. We know, we know, and it's nice to just share like a pretty straightforward, positive image of like, this stuff can get done. So
yeah, good message. Yeah. Okay, John, you can have your time in the sun. What would you like to talk about? Do you want to talk about something from the old season, something from the new? It's all up to you.
I guess I should kind of stick with the times and keep talking about stuff that's older.
All right.
So I'm going to be completely honest. I completely forgot what the hell happened on Pokemon. Don't ask me. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm not going to bother talking about it this time. So you're just going to have to deal with it, everybody. But I did watch Precure. And y'all, holy shit. So it's been kind of rough watching lately because the show has shifted away from the adventures of the girls. It has not been, hey, this episode's going to be about this girl and what's going on with her. No, it is pretty much 100% Ayumi, who is the Pure Earth girl, who is the like 30-year-old woman that is like their new friend that lives with Nodoka and all that. It's just been about teaching her different emotions in like different words. Just like, now you know what frustration is. You're upset that something didn't happen. Like, that's what the show has been. And it's a little funny, but it's not that funny. And it's also kind of boring. But then the last episode ends with the craziest shit. Like, out of nowhere, the twink demon boy shows up. And, like, you know, after they beat, like, a pathogerm and all that, they're all like, yeah, we won, whatever. I don't know where he shows up. And Nodoka runs up and is like, what are you doing here? Why are you here? Are you gonna do something? And he goes, yeah, I am. To you. And then he takes out one of those, like, crystals that, like, makes the pathogerms more powerful. And he puts it into her. And we were just like, what? Oh, shit.
Wait, like in her mouth? Like, what?
No, like, he just, like, shoves it in her body. It, like, gets absorbed in her body.
Oh, like she absorbs it? Okay.
Yeah, she absorbs it. And so she's sick now.
Wait, so why haven't they done that before?
I don't know, but...
I feel like that could... Okay, well, anyway.
So she's sick. And if you recall, Nodoka's the one who had, like, some kind of debilitating illness that she eventually recovered from. That, like, you know, was her whole thing near the beginning, where it was just like, yeah, you know, like, she healed from this illness, so she wants to heal other people, and that's why she wants to be a Precure, all that stuff, which is, you know, that's fine. But now she's sick. She's, like, got the disease again. Whatever disease it is, they do not explain what it is, but she just has it again. So she's fucking sick, and they gotta figure out what to do.
Oh, no. Wow.
That'll be next episode, though, so, you know, again, like, it's just been, like, them teaching this, like, 30-something-year-old woman how to feel happy. Oh yeah, that's right. That's the reason why I don't have a lot to talk about. The episode before this one, because this one, the newest episode was like they went to like a fucking hot air balloon race, and the person they were rooting for didn't win, and that's why Yumi was frustrated because she learned the word frustrated. It's like Sesame Street. Like I know this is for kids, but like come on, you know. The episode before that was a clip episode. That's what it was. I forgot. Yeah, they had a clip episode, in which I guess I get it, because, you know, it is the COVID virus time. But, jeez. I don't know.
Wow.
But yeah, so I guess next episode is really going to be when shit starts hitting the fan, which, I mean, I'm looking forward to it.
So they're just gonna come out and go, oh no, it's the coronavirus. We must.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. If they did that, I would kind of love it in a way. Like that's,
oh my gosh,
that's so stupid. It would be kind of great. So,
yeah, I wonder like if they modified any writing or made any changes along the way as the show was midway in hiatus when stuff happened. So. That'd be interesting if they did anything, or probably not. I mean, it seems like everything they're doing in regards to, like, specifying any sort of sickness has been very vague in general. So I don't know. It could be anything.
I mean, so far it's just been the pathogerms, you know. So they aren't like they're not doing a specific sickness. They're just like infecting. They're just infecting items and making them evil.
Objects that don't make sense.
But I guess we'll find out what happens when you infect a person, because she's gonna be sick.
Was the dog ever sick?
I mean, the dog was sick this episode. The dog was not sick at all in the clip episode, which was it was I don't know, you know.
Now the human's sick.
Yeah, you know. I mean, I don't know if the dog will get sick next episode. There's a chance it won't. I guess we're just gonna have to find out, because
they already had their one episode where the dog didn't get sick or whatever, didn't they?
Like
it got real sick, right?
Yeah, real sick.
No,
yeah.
it got real sick, and then it got also.
It got fake sick in the episode.
It got
too?
fake sick too. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Wow. Both.
Get
wow.
PETA on the phone.
No.
Yeah, don't do that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's Precure lately. It's been wild.
Healing good.
They're healing good, and now they're healing bad right now. So they got to fix that shit.
All right. I hope they do.
All of us.
All right, Elvie, you're free from hentai heroes. That's great.
I'm free from hentai
happy for
heroes.
you. Is there much to say about that, or
Not really, no.
Okay.
They were at like a summer festival and then again, they just defeated the big baddie and they're all back together in their team and more adventures to come, and I don't think I'm going to look forward to that. So they didn't. It is what it is. Like the guy almost confessed. I don't know. Again, it's a whole thing where the two main characters almost confess their love for each other. It's like, oh, okay, that's happening. But of course, they didn't fully like do that because again, this is actually an ongoing manga series apparently, and they just had like a little open-ended ending where once again they defeated the latest baddie and that's it. But the team's back together, fighting the sex-sucking aliens. So that's that.
That's good.
But that's done.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I was just like, fucking hentai hero. It's not even its name. We just call it that. It's like super heroes.
It's super H X.
Well, the
arrows.
X is silent in most Japanese things.
Yeah, I know, but it's still like
It's just hentai heroes.
it's basically hentai heroes. Then just
sucks ass. So I did not watch the fishing show. Sadly, I'm way behind on it.
It ended. It's cute. And I was so worried when they introduced. Okay, so all I have to say really is when they introduced that teacher, I was fucking worried. I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be the worst thing ever. And she barely shows up. She like showed up one more time, and that was it for the rest of the series. It was wonderful. I was like so worried she was gonna be like an annoying like recurring joke, just ruining their peace and stuff. Like I was gonna hate it, but she only showed up like one other time for the rest of the series, depending where you are at.
Good.
But yeah, she doesn't bother them. I'm like, oh great, we don't want. She doesn't bother them. They're at peace fishing. What I quite loved about this show is that not only as specific as they were about focus on fishing, it's interesting how they kind of went into topics about like pollution and like climate change and stuff. I was like, oh okay, that's cool. That's really important. That's good to go into. Like the whole thing about like I forgot what episode it was specifically, but it was just like how I think it was like the birds or something. Like I don't know, the fishing lines, unfortunately, like sometimes the fishing lines like get thrown in the water, and unfortunately some of the animals get caught in it and stuff, and they went through a whole thing about talking about that, and they freed a bird and stuff. It was very cute. But yeah, good show, good fun, peaceful show.
That's good. So do you think better than Asteroid in Love?
Well, they commit to they do break. Yeah, it's called Breakwater. They do break the water. I think. Asteroid in Love. They didn't fulfill the title. I don't know if they. Asteroid in Love was constant like teasing too. Like they were in love with each other, but they kept saying they were friends. I don't know about that. And then they failed to meet that. They failed to find an asteroid or see an asteroid. So there's issues here. Breakwater Club. They were fishing. They were breaking the water and
fishing,
more.
yeah.
They were cooking.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Right after Asteroid and the fucking board game travesty, I think.
No, this was good. This is a real.
They nailed
this
it.
This is a redemption for the anime schoolgirls doing a specific club genre.
Yeah.
This is good. This is fine. It is something I would recommend if one is tired from watching those two.
I saw the board game club girls just got a dub just now, and I was like, "What?
Oh,
What?
wow.
Like, why is this getting a
Did
dub? That's
anyone-
insane to me."
Yeah, I don't even know if anyone like. Oh, whatever.
Yeah, it's probably.
Sometimes the things you're like don't think like actually had any viewership gets dubs. So
Yeah, I think everything gets dubbed these days.
Yeah, that's fair.
Hey, more people get work, sure.
yeah, that's a good effect, I guess.
Okay, I'll talk about my little things, and then we can talk about our joint stuff that we have to mention. Oh, the one joint thing that we have, I guess, left to mention from the old season. Sword Art Online finished. Finished. This is all 4 cores now, all done.
Oh my gosh.
They announced a new anime.
How do you feel?
Glad it's over. I'm gonna be real with you. So like I said, my opinion worsened over time for this series. And I kept saying in the last arc, as soon as Kirito came back, they genuinely pulled his dead boyfriend or whatever comes back as a ghost and goes, "You could do it, Kirito," like 30 times, and it lost all impact or power or anything. Really a hell of an ending, I have to say. So Kirito and Asuna, yes, they were trapped inside the computer for 200 years. Okay. They apparently, this is mentioned at the very, very end, they may have brought that MMO universe up to the space age from Fantasy Times. Because at the end, there are spaceships and it's a sci-fi MMO, but I'll get to that later. So they get Kirito out of there. They have a weird episode where Alice, who has now been made into a real-life android, she's just an android now walking around, and they have press conferences and stuff about her where people are like, our androids are going to take our jobs, isn't that bad? And they're like, the androids won't take our jobs. And then the same person goes, well, if the androids aren't going to take our jobs, then what's the point in having androids? Now people have to work in factories still? That's stupid. And it's like, what do you want? What is this? Why is one person having all these viewpoints? Like, this is so weird. And she just, they say the most insanely myopic thing to me, which is they say something along the lines of, we created these androids the same way that humans are born and grow in the same way, so I think it's wrong to enslave them in factories. And I'm just like, you're 1 second away. Do you realize what you just said? You're saying the robots shouldn't replace the people in factories because they have the same rights as people. What about the people in factories? But yeah, and then the Alice is like, fuck off, bye, and then she leaves. And then she ships herself hornily to Kirito's house. And he opens the box and she's just in there and she's like, hey. And it's like, this is weird, I don't know about this. And then Kirito's parents are there for the first time ever in the entire series. And Kirito's just awoken from a 3-month coma or something, right? Okay. And longer than that, really. Multiple. I don't know. He was in a coma forever. Anyways, his dad gives him shit like he was on vacation gaming or something and not in a coma. And he's like, all right, son, I know that you were just paid $2 million to save the world from America launching nukes into Japan or whatever, but what about cram school? What's going on with college? And it's just he literally says that straight up, and I'm just and Kirito takes it so seriously, and I'm just sitting here do you realize what you just said? Kirito has millions of dollars. I also forgot, after the events of Sword Art Online, they gave everyone who was affected by Sword Art Online a house, I guess, which is really
That's
warped.
A pretty good deal.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, if it's also paid off, pretty good.
Yeah. So the fact that this dad's even giving him shit, honestly, I think Kirito needs to be given a different kind of shit. Because the Alice character is totally trying to, get his sword or whatever. And it's she's calling Kirito's dad her dad and shit like that. And everyone's just accepting it. And I'm just okay, listen. Kirito is engaged. He is engaged to Asuna. It's not, it's fucked up. It's warped. Anyways, they said the next arc's the last one whenever they make that, but they are doing that rebuild, whatever the Sword Art Online Brotherhood equivalent thing.
Yeah, they're remaking some part or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I was glad it was over. At the very end, they just had Kirito fight Cthulhu in space. I don't know what was going on there.
That sounds cool.
It was all right. There was like the two little knights or whatever that Kirito raised in the fake MMO were now space pilots and piloting through space or whatever. And like when I kept saying like the ghost of the boyfriend kept appearing or whatever, and it was like insane to me. Like, well, first off, multiple times throughout the last 2 episodes, Kirito is just like crying in his room alone because his boyfriend died or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, your wife is right there. Like I like Asuna is fucking nothing. And then like at the very, very end when the space pilots go, oh my god, it's Kirito, I recognize him. And the other girl goes, I recognize that other one too. And there's just the ghost of the guy behind him like smiling or whatever. And it's just like, come on, like I've had enough. I've seen, like, why did you even kill him off if he's just gonna be around all the time? I don't know. It's like it was ridiculous. Anyways, that's over. That's Sword Art Online. Very, very. I was not into the last season. I thought it was pretty bad. Oh, they made a clone of Kirito also. I forgot to say.
Oh, yeah.
What is he gonna do?
One of the programmers just made a clone of Kirito's memories or something like that. I don't know. He seems twisted. He seems like an evil Kirito.
Yeah, that immediately sounds off some red flags.
Yeah.
Just clone memories of.
So they had
someone.
Kirito had them wipe their memories when they came out of the coma or whatever from being in the world for 200 years or whatever.
Right.
Which, wow, amazing technology in 2026, I have to say. And so the guy just keeps the backup of Kirito, and Kirito's backup goes like, I knew you were going to do this because you're a sick fuck or something like that. It's just like, okay, evil Kirito, what the hell? It was all weird. It was all weird. The only other thing I have from the last season is I watched, that Misfit at Demon Academy show, right? Yeah. It's fine. I was actually impressed because most of these shows, you watch them and they're very by the numbers, and then like as they go on, they just get more and more like, man, they don't know what the hell they're doing. They don't know what's going on. This one was pretty good. I don't know. Just nailed the vibes all the way through. Very basic Demon Lord stuff, but I think they had pretty good politics going on. I think that it was one of those things where the protagonist is overpowered, but it's actually enjoyable because he's just like, I don't know how to describe specifically what it is about it. It's like it was like very confident in like, yeah, he's just overpowered or whatever and he can do all this stuff, but it was like, I don't know, they let the other characters do stuff a lot of the time too instead. So it was fine. That's just what I was gonna say. If you really wanted to watch one of those, the real fucked up about that show that I didn't think I talked about this much during the season, but the whole premise is this, like, he's a reincarnated demon lord or whatever in modern times. He reincarnated himself, and then like he's like 4 months old, but he just grew to like a 20-year-old immediately. And he just has these two like 25-year-old parents that are just like, he's the best, I love our beautiful boy, or whatever. And that was pretty fun. Yeah, it's just nice. Pretty gay at the end also. It's like the hero reincarnated too, and he loves him so much or whatever.
Ooh.
Yeah. It also just like ended instead of how most of these shows end, where it's just like, yeah, so continuing adventures go on. It's just like, nope, done. Might have just been one book. I don't know. Okay, LV, rental girlfriend. Here we go.
Oh.
Here we go. Nail in the coffin.
Go. They like introduced a new character in one episode.
Yeah, they sure did.
And that's it.
And then she's gone.
Then she's gone.
Goodbye.
Then she's gone. But I guess deep down they knew secretly they were gonna get a season 2, so maybe that's why. But
I don't know why,
ridiculous.
but sure.
Yeah, sure. This show is really ridiculous when it comes to coincidences, and oh boy, here's a very important character showing up. Oh my gosh, I gotta follow. Yeah, he has an issue stalking these people, too. Which I guess in this regard was fair compared to the last issue, but Yeah, they keep running into people they know, and this is where the misunderstandings happen and stuff. It's really ridiculous. It's like they keep running into, like, he keeps running into all these past women in his life, and this is how shit happens. And I'm like, what the fuck? How big is this town? This is not the smallest town. This is like, are we not in are we not in the city? How does this keep happening? It keeps happening. Yeah, I don't really have much to say about it besides, well, that's that. But it's gonna keep going. It has a season 2 that was announced, so here's to it. And the main character has not
grown at all.
Grown at all the whole series.
He's certainly jerked off a lot. That's for sure.
He has, yeah. Ooh, jeez. Yeah, it's a shame because the series definitely did not focus on, like, the whole actual aspect when it comes to the rental industry, which I think is very intriguing and definitely worth talking about, especially if it's done in a cool way, and a very respectful way. But it focused less on that, and in the end, it really was just about a young man's insecurities and how he just still hasn't even overcome it. That's really what the show is. It's the title and premise of the show revolving around rental girlfriends is not much of the percentage of what the show actually is about. It really is just about this guy's trouble with overcoming his complexes, and we haven't seen much development of
He
that
hasn't even
way,
overcome
too.
even one. Just not even
He
one.
hasn't even overcome one, yeah. Not even a half of it. So... And all these women are way too nice to him. Yeah, rental girlfriend, so...
See, I thought the entire... John, you always complain about these series where it's just like you want them to talk.
Yeah.
You want them to just talk to each other. And listen, I know we've discussed before, like, sometimes talking's hard, and it makes sense that they wouldn't want to, right?
I get it to an extent, but when there's just very explicitly things where it's like, yeah, like, you have a good relationship, there isn't a reason why you wouldn't just sit down and talk, you know?
Yeah, so this series is like the worst example of that possible. I think probably the worst I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. Like I think I said it before, but like the whole reason they're maintaining this facade or whatever of all of the problems in the show revolve around the concept that he is lying to his grandmother. Basically, that is it. And there are multiple chances where someone could just go up to the grandmother and say, "Hey, you're fucked up. And you need to chill the fuck out because, like, you're warping this guy's brain even more than it already is. And, like, your expectations need to, like, really stop because it's, like, ruining him." Mm-hmm. And it's just, like, nobody does that. None of these, like, normal, smart people are doing that. Like, nobody stops and goes, like, hey, we should approach this from any angle. If anything, they go, like, this poor grandmother. And I'm just thinking, like, no, that grandmother's a fucking prick. I don't know. Like, fuck that. Like, if my grandmother was like, oh my gosh, why haven't you had any kids yet? Fuck you, you've ruined my life. I would be like, oh, goodbye, grandma, forever. Bye. Like, no, I wouldn't just be like, oh no, I have to do this for my grandma. Like, it doesn't even seem like she's not financially supporting him. Like, they don't even, like, live together. Like, it's so... It's just stupid. And then, like, the whole ending bit where he's like, oh, I cannot confess. I confessed my love, but I'm going to take it back instantly. It's like, how would she not, like, It's just like...
Right.
It's so... As I always say, I feel like the people who make this stuff sometimes need to go speak to other human beings out in the world and make relationships with them. And then it would be fine.
I'm trying, but...
You do work. Fine. Listen, you wouldn't fucking do this shit. I can tell you that much for free. Alright. Now we can go to the new season.
Now we're in the new season, everybody.
So we all watched... I'm going to start with this, okay? We all watched the Witch anime, right?
I think we did, yeah.
Yeah, Elena, yeah.
Fucked up.
Was fucked up, but it was good, though.
Yeah, no, good. Good fucked up. Do you want to talk about John? You can go. We've kept you in a little cordoned off zone here. So you want to?
Sure, I guess I could. I had a good time watching it. Yeah. For those of you unaware of it, it is about this young girl who wants to become a witch, and her parents are very much against it. But she still does it anyway, and she, knocks it out of the park. She becomes, the youngest person to graduate from the witch school. And that is just how it starts. That is, the first, 5 minutes of this. So she's like, okay, well, she basically needs to go do an internship before she can become a real witch. But all the, local witches don't want to train her because she's so young. So she finds this wild, fucked up witch, just the Stardust Witch, who is great, and I love her. And she's just like, all right, well, I gotta learn from her. And old Stardust here does not teach her anything for a month, because she's just running her ragged, making her do chores and shit. And eventually she just gets pissed, and she's like, you gotta teach me something. And it's like, alright, fine, I'll teach you. And then she just kicks her ass. She just does, all these,
She just, beats her up, yeah.
Yeah, she beats her ass with magic. It's absolutely insane. And then she's like, oh, well, the reason why I did that is because your parents paid me to. Because they wanted to
Your parents gave me, $100 to beat the shit out of you.
because they wanted to, they wanted to make it being a witch seem really tough, so you wouldn't do it. But she still wants to do it. Even
I
after
thought
that.
it was supposed to be to teach her humility or something.
That's what I thought,
yeah.
because there's something about her character that seems very haughty and prideful, and we still see a little of that, at the end of the episode, especially.
Yeah, but I thought it was more that her parents wanted to put her through the ringer. It wasn't necessarily to, keep her from being a witch. It was more that they wanted to, have her see the worst parts of it, so if she really didn't want to do it, it was the kind of thing where it's yeah, this is how bad it could get. If you can deal with this, then fine, you can go, but if you can't, then you can come home. It was that kind of thing. And, but then she still wants to do it, so she becomes a witch, and I guess the rest of the show is just going to be her being a wandering witch and traveling around the world and doing witch stuff. And it was so well animated, though. Oh my god, that show is so beautiful.
Was nuts.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Oh my god, it was so cool, and I really liked it. I'm definitely going to try to keep up with this. It is super fun. It is just really gorgeously animated, very fun show. I'm going to keep up with it.
I thought that lady is warped. That the Stardust Witch, I mean, the mom is a sick individual. I think personally,
I agree.
The dad seems like he's just basically a nervous dad or whatever. He's totally whipped. That dude is.
He is.
That dude is a. Well, I won't say what I was saying. Yeah, I was he's crying the whole episode, and the mom's just I'm twisted. And I was like, damn, this is fucked up. I don't know. It was really warped. Yeah, that was good though. It was good, yeah.
Yeah. How about you two? How did you feel about it?
Yeah, how did you feel, LV?
Yeah, I have nothing else much to say about it. It's really promising so far, so I'm just looking forward to what the actual journey entails. But yeah, what an impression of the first episode.
I didn't even think we'd get an origin story or until later or something.
Yeah,
based on
yeah. It just jumped in in the beginning. Yeah.
All right. Next up. Helvy, you want to talk about Moriarty, which I did not see.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's really promising. Again, there's not much to say beyond it being ooh, this is a really intriguing, promising potential mystery show. Yeah, I'm a little confused as to. So this, interestingly, I think this is based on a manga. Actually, I'm not sure if the manga is still running. I think it is probably. And this first episode of the series is actually an original story, and it's really good. So I don't know. Here's just seeing how the rest of the quality of the series pans out, if the rest of the series actually is going to be based on the manga chapters. But I won't say much because, again, it's hard to talk about mysteries without explaining the mystery and thus spoiling what's going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really promising so far. I think my only confusion is resting on where this, what is this in the canon? Because the way this opens up is that there's a child reading a Sherlock Holmes book. So is this character fictional in this world, or because this is in fact that I think, unless I'm wrong, someone correct me, this is a Moriarty in relation to Sherlock Holmes. That is that same man, that same character that eventually becomes his rival, and this is just him when he's younger before that relationship develops. But there is in the beginning there's a child reading a Sherlock Holmes book, so I'm not sure if that was purely just it explicitly says that Sherlock Holmes, Arthur Conan Doyle, Sir Conan Doyle. So I'm not sure if there's a weird meta-universe thing where actually that book is based on true stories, and these people are real, sort of thing. Because I've seen other interpretations of Sherlock Holmes where the literature series of Sherlock Holmes exists in the world where Sherlock Holmes is real because the books are actually autobiographical. That's how they justify them. But in this case, I don't know if that's the same thing, because the child was clearly reading an older story, not an older story, a story where those characters are older. But in this case, the universe Moriarty is still a young man. So I don't know. But I don't know. Maybe that confusion will never be addressed. Maybe it's just one of those things where I'm gonna just have to take it from glass. But yeah, it's really promising so far. It's very good. I think it's well drawn too. I think it's having the similar drawing issue where in a lot of historical fiction stuff like this, where you have side characters that are actually pretty realistically and grittily rendered, like older characters and whatnot, like older men. They're drawn very, very, not photorealistic, but they're actually drawn to the detail of how properly stylized they should be if they were rendered realistically. But then the main characters still have a very typical Bishojo art style, so it is jarring. But that aside, it's promising. That's all I have to say otherwise. I'm looking forward to it. Also, it has a weird, I don't know if this was the ending song, but it has an ending, it has a J-poppy ending song that does not fit the tone of the series, which is really funny to me, but I don't think the rest of the soundtrack does not reflect that, but it's very jarring. But yeah, just nice to have another mystery series that looks good. There's a funny part where he literally, I don't know how to describe it, but in the Benedict Cumberbatch Sherlock, the ABC Sherlock, the whole thing where I don't know if anyone has seen it, but there's a whole thing whenever he goes into brain blast, the neutron brain blast. All this horrible words and motion graphics slideshow graphics just go through. This happens in the show. This fucking happens in the show. Fucking words just spill through the screen and he enters a brain blast mode. It's very good. But yeah, that's all I have to say.
I'm gonna watch that soon because I have a Moriarty bias now, so I think that sounds great. If he does a Jimmy Neutron brain blast, hey, fucking.
He kind of does. I that's the vibe I got.
All right. Yeah, and they don't do that anymore in anything. I feel like that was a trend for a while in children's TV shows to just fill time.
Yeah, they cut away to some sequence.
Pre-roll, yeah, a Kamen Rider transformation or something, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same reason.
Okay. John, would you like to talk about something else you watched this season?
Sure. I watched the Dragon Quest anime, the first episode of that.
The Adventure of Dai?
The Adventure of Dai. I liked it quite a bit. I know that you said that you were a little, you thought it was a little but I dug it. I had a good time. It's not anything revolutionary, but it is just some really well animated, really peppy, super fun shonen. Just some shonen-ass shonen. And of course it is, because it is an old manga. This is an old Shonen Jump manga, from when Dragon Quest first came out.
It ended in the 90s, straight up.
Yeah. So this is just a big celebration thing. Dragon Quest is getting a second wind because 11 was such a big deal, and then they put Hero in Smash, so it really feels like Dragon Quest is trying to be a bigger thing and not just in Japan. So, they decided to capitalize on it with an anime, and I think I don't know how popular this will be, but it's fun, and I think people should check it out if you just want a good time. I don't know how to go further than this, but it's cute. It's just about this young kid who loves, the story of the hero, the story of Erdrick, and he wants to be a hero like Erdrick, but he lives on an island of monsters, and his, the leader monster, this, old man monster, wants him to be a mage. And so I guess we're gonna find out what happens after that, because the first episode was just him fighting off fake heroes, these assholes dressed up like the Dragon Quest 1 party who wanted to kill all the monsters and steal it's the golden metal slime that is his friend. Yeah. And, it's all just Dragon Quest. It's all just fucking Dragon Quest ass Dragon Quest. So if you like that, you will like this, I guess, will be my real answer to that, but I had a good time with it, and I will keep watching it.
I thought it was fucked up when he sucked up that man into a tube.
That was fucked up, but I think it was something good to do to that man.
He had it coming.
That man was a bastard.
I would have thrown the tube into the ocean if I was him, though.
I agree.
Yeah, it's very gorgeous. I've seen it too. It's very
definitely
gorgeous. It's definitely going to stand out, I think, in terms of compared to. It has a very intentionally older styled anime look to it, which is obviously purposeful because of the source material being much older.
Yeah.
Than was, so they're trying to match up to it. And I think they're doing it very well in the digital age. I think it has that look where I think some newer anime tries to replicate that, but it doesn't look great. But I think they're doing it in a very nice way. It's really come down to the colors. The colors are beautiful. I think a lot of times, stuff that tries to emulate that older art style messes up really hard on the colors because it's trying to capture how traditional cells when they're painted on those transparencies they do look saturated, but it's because of utter they're using a traditional camera. They have to shoot it on an actual camera and stuff to get the drawings, and it's that's why it has a particular look, and a lot of them are trying to do some stuff tries to do that, but it's not quite capturing why it looks like that. So this one actually understands what's going on with the art style, and it's not trying to replicate it, it's just trying to make it look good, right? Yeah, it's promising. It's just it's just a fun little thing to tag along with.
Yeah.
Keeping the old school train a going. We Elvie, you and I, we watched Yashahime, the new Inuyasha.
Yeah, we did.
What did you think about it? I was pretty posy on it. Pretty posy.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm excited to see where this goes because, for the most part, this first episode actually just focused on the old gang. And I never knew this, but apparently this is based off some extra chapter after the series did end. Yeah. So I'm guessing. Yeah, so I'm guessing this series, is trying to frame a whole story around what's going on there and giving more context as to what happened. Very promising, very excited. I think this is going to be I'm curious as if this is a series possible to watch if you don't have the context of experiencing Inuyasha. But we have to see, I guess, more episodes in. Again, this is a spin-off. It's an original anime idea. I know, it has a whole different team of writers, but as far as I know, it is Rumiko Takahashi. She basically provided the character designs, but otherwise, I don't know what her actual influence on the story is and where it's going is. But very promising. Very promising. The three main girls have great character designs. I'll say that. They're whoa, cool. They're so cool looking. We don't know much. We don't know much other than that, but that's all I can say. It's promising.
I have to say the main thing that stands out to me. Well, first of all, the opening and ending are both really good.
Yeah.
The main three girls, their character designs unreal to me. in my opinion. I
unreal.
am like
Yeah.
blown away
They
by how
did
good
that,
they
yeah.
are. Yeah. Like both of Shishomaru's daughters are like, wow. Wowie. We need more girls in suits. We need that in general. So that's great. Inuyasha's daughter is a fucking nightmare to see, which is exactly how it should be. The only thing that I have as a thing I want to state, I really forgot how much Inuyasha sat like that when he was sitting near Kagome. What a freak!
Truly a freak.
He's a freak. Like you did say, like the time travel rules randomly.
Oh yes, that was a big problem. I was like, when did they care about this? So in the beginning, basically one of the girls, she's being held hostage for some reason, and then there's this whole thing, she's facing off like a local person where, and this is one of the girls who she came from the present. So to give a little more context, the whole premise is right now, that for some reason the three of them are separated, and they're like cousins with each other, So Sashimaru has two girls. We don't know the mother yet. That is going to be the biggest hurdle we will have to deal with later on. But on that later. And they got separated. And one of the girls ends up somehow getting lost back in the present, Kagome's time period. And she ends up staying with Kagome's family, who were still, so basically her brother at that point is much older. And is just chilling with them because that's like her only person who like she knows like point of contact wise that actually knows what's going on and can understand what the fuck's happening.
So
then now she's back in the past, back in that time period, as we're going in, and there's this whole thing where she's being held hostage or something, or she's being interrogated, and she's like, oh shit, I don't want to say too much because I might fuck up the past, like I don't want to introduce modern things. Like there's a whole thing where there's like a bike seat and whatnot, and I guess bikes are not fucking invented yet. Okay, cool. But bikes have been around for like a long time. That's a little weird. But then I'm thinking, what? That was never a thing thought about in the original series. Like, I don't know, like, what Kagome's exists. So again, the original series, it's a Japanese high school girl from our modern world. She goes back in the past. And then in the end, she just decides to live there and have kids with this half demon dude. So, like, what did she do? Like, there's no, like, comment on, like, what the original... See what I mean? Like, it's hard to talk about because they didn't even talk about the time travel issues or inconsistencies in the original series. So why is it suddenly now in question? So I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if that will become a bigger issue later on in terms of, like, this is actually plot relevant, but curious.
I feel like at the very least on the subject of Rin,
right,
and Shishomaru, I based on their ages all being the same, unless they're gonna pull Kagome didn't have kids for like at least 10 years.
Yeah.
I'd hope there's no way they'd all be the same age. If it was Rin.
Right, and then the little right, and then again we saw them in that first episode. They did not interact with each other at all. Like she was just doing the thing where she's saying hi and him. It's like, oh hell, but not him being his usual. Not again. That's the whole core issue at its hand. Is this man could have no way naturally fathered children, regardless of who he ends up with. I am very suspicious of what is going on here, right?
Yeah.
In terms of like, and not to, again, I definitely agree there is doubt in my mind because I want to deny any of those twisted shippers. I'm calling these people out. Any of these twisted shippers who are into that ship, in particular, that period. I don't want those people to feel validated. Let's be honest. I don't want them to win. But at the same time, I had a great conversation with someone about how, like, those two girls' character designs don't even look like a proper combination of those two characters. So I think there might be more to it than we think, right? And one of those girls has purple eyes like Naraku, so I don't I have a theory in my head. But Inuyasha and Kagome's child looks like them. she looks like them. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I could be overthinking it.
I think the
But
black
if I
hair
prove
one.
it right, that's great. You know, I prove it, but I don't want those shippers to be proven right.
I think
That is
the
my-
spear girl really is the Shishomaru type. Like she's basically
Yeah.
just Shishomaru.
Yeah.
But the main girl, she could be anything. I did see in the next episode preview they have her like glowing her eye or whatever, and I'm like, okay, all right.
Yeah, something. Yeah, I don't know. There's definitely something that will be hopefully explained. So,
Yeah.
which might include the parentry of these two.
I did really like that they had the fucking sponsorship break and stuff like that. Very
Yes, I
nostalgic,
did like that.
very nostalgic stuff to have. But yeah, I was just happy to have more Inuyasha. Inuyasha's
Yeah,
great.
it's
It
also
reminded
like
me. It was
again
good.
for this first episode, well animated. The fights were really good. Very nice looking. But again, it's the first episode, so who knows like how things will go down the road. But yeah, very exciting. It's a very exciting time.
Okay. John, would you like to talk
Yes?
about Higurashi, which you watched? I have not watched it yet.
So, I am probably not fully the right person to talk about
Okay.
Higurashi. Well, I mean, I'll talk a little bit about it, but I know that LV, you're actually like a fan of at least like some of the old stuff. What all were you into? Like the visual novel, the anime? What?
No, I've only really fully absorbed the original anime series, but like my absorbing of the visual novels is purely like from an outside perspective of just reading.
Okay.
Because again, these are visual novels where they're very dense and very you have to really get every piece of it to fully comprehend it, and like it's one of those things where I just did not probably invest in it. It's more like my absorption of the visual novel, same with Umineko, is from an outsider perspective, to be honest. And like I think most of my absorption from it is from like other people playing them in conjunction with watching the anime in the time that it was like a viral thing, right? It's like, oh, these cute anime girls. Oh, something fucked up happens with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
That's my familiarity with the series.
See, I have no familiarity with it besides, like, the memes, the general internet vibe of it. Like, I know it's a horror thing.
I mean, I think that's valid memes. Higurashi memes, I think, are very...
Yeah, like, I mean, I remember the fucked up laughing girl when the other girl kills herself and all that shit. Like, I know of Higurashi. I don't really know it. But I enjoyed the first episode for what it was. It's thrilling, it's mysterious, but from what I saw that the creator, the like original visual novel creator, said in an interview that I guess like shit gets weird in the second episode, so maybe this is going to be like a deviation. It's going to be like a new thing. So that'll be interesting. Just from enjoying this first episode, I am interested to maybe check out some of the other stuff though, because it is pretty thrilling and in a very interesting way. So perhaps I will check out some of Higurashi.
Yeah. What I can say from like try not to spill things, but I think I definitely agree. I think there is going to be like a different direction as to what they're going to do with this. I don't know if it's going to be like original or if maybe they're going to explore like a different path they didn't really take with the anime, like the original anime and like the sequel they did. But yeah, it's nice to hear like they managed to get every single original seiyuu, which is
That's cool.
So it's like it's cool to see how those performances are still exactly the same. We're Nipa hours.
Nipa.
Nipa. Yeah. And it's nice to see that like with this new art style too. I actually really like. I think it's like the Monogatari person too, who's doing the character design.
Yeah. They have the Monogatari lips.
Yeah.
Which you mentioned back when we were talking about Koufuku Graffiti how that is something, but
it's not the same production.
Yeah. So it's they have like the cat mouths, but they're not zooming in on them and then making their lips gigantic and then having them like
they're just like they're just cute and
they're cute.
very round faced. Yeah, and I kind of like that direction. It's very I kind of like it more than original because it's like than what the original because it's like it is very jarring now when something bad happens. And it's going to be very off-putting when the stuff gets worse. I can say though that I feel like the pacing is very fast, and I think it's so. I don't know. I feel like I wish they spent more time on the weird dumbass like shenanigans because there's a whole thing too where that group of friends they like do pranks on each other and like I wish they like took a little more time to expand on that, but maybe they might do it in other ways. But I feel like they're really like in the first episode alone, they kind of at the end we had like dark stuff now starting to happen and dark stuff being hinted on the surface under the surface. So I don't know. I was hoping for like maybe a few more episodes where it's just dumb slice of life stuff, you know, before we get there. But I guess they're jumping right into it. So yeah, I think it's solid so far. But I definitely do sense that I think they're gonna do something a little different. So at the very least, it's not just a straight remake, and I think that's a good thing. I can see for some people who are like, oh, you know, we gotta have remakes be accurate. I was like, no, but then like that's kind of like then defeats the point, I guess, of remakes.
Yeah, do something different.
You want some variation, but in like a good way, right? And that's kind of the point of them. You want to improve not that you don't have to aim to improve upon the source material, but if you're gonna do that, you got to be different and succeed at what the interpretation is trying to do, right? So yeah, and it is it is coincidental that it is timely for Halloween season when technically this was supposed to have been aired earlier, which I guess is supposed to match up with summer because the series takes place in like a hot summer. So you know the cicadas are a recurring thing in the series.
So that they played the first anime's opening or something at the ending?
Yeah, at the end.
Pretty good.
So I don't know if that will just officially be like the opening. It's like a remaster, I guess, of the...
I hope they have the ending thing where they do the next episode stuff, because like I think I said before, when my roommate was watching it, that ending was iconic to me. Just hearing that every time, just like the Higurashi.
Oh yeah! I don't know if I caught that. Yeah, they should though.
Yeah, good as hell. I need to get into that stuff. I keep meaning to. I got distracted when I was reading The House and Fate of Morgana. I was like, oh, should I do this or Umineko? And people were like, oh, do that one first because it's shorter. Umineko's like 7 years long. And I was like, oh, okay. And now I'm just like... Oh,
it's more incomprehensible. I don't think I fully grasp it either as much as I tried.
Yeah, I get that vibe. For sure.
But I don't know. I feel like the people in that following are more passionate though and definitely love it.
That's definitely why
I like that. Like it's more active, I think.
Yeah.
Too. And remains to be, which is interesting.
Oh, alright. I watched the first episode of Jujutsu Kaisen. That was pretty good. It's pretty good.
Is that the one with the like gang wars or something? Like
No, you're thinking of the one. Jujutsu Kaisen is the one where it's about this kid is this kid is just he's a kid or whatever, and then he ends up eating a cursed object, and he becomes cursed and gets dragged into some like ghost killing society type thing or whatever. But the first episode's pretty good. He's just this like really twisted little high school guy. He's like the most athletic person in the world. They constantly flash little tidbits on the screen to explain how fucked up he is, basically. Where it's like, so like he can run like 50 meters in 4 seconds. And they say like the Japanese world record is like whatever 5 seconds or something like that. And then like, oh yeah, he can throw the shot put like this far, and that's like this much higher than the world record for that or whatever and stuff like that. So the first episode, he's just hanging out in his occult club with these 2 kids that he met or whatever, these other 2 kids, and they're all hanging out, and the student president comes in and he's like, damn, what's wrong with you? This isn't a real club. This is stupid. You need to get the hell out of here. You, the main character boy, you're not even part of this club. You're part of the track and field club. Why are you even here? And the kid goes, no, I'm not. And then the track and field teacher comes in and goes, I fucking like counterfeited his signature on the application that he applied to, and tried to force him into the track and field club because he's so fast, right? Like I said, like he can run fucking 50 meters or whatever, and he's like, all right, let's settle this outside like men. If you can throw the shot put faster than me, I'll let you off the hook or whatever. And he throws it like really far, and then he just fucking like throws it like into the next world or something like that, and the guy just breaks completely. And the occult club's like, see, we have a reason to exist. We're investigating why all of those football players got sick out on the rugby field or whatever. And like, so we read, and this guy got killed by the Yakuza or whatever in the fields, like while the school was being made, and now that's his dead body out there on the field, and that's why they're all sick. And everyone's just like, you're fucking idiots, they just got Lyme disease from ticks out in the forest. Like, it's fun. And it's just like, they do a lot of stuff to be like, yeah, ghosts aren't real or whatever. And the stupid occult club kids, like, decide to unseal this thing they dug up from the ground in the rugby field, which is like a human finger that's just wrapped in like a ghost seal, and then that makes like a fucked up ghost come and almost kill them. But this dude comes and stops them. But then the main kid is like, oh, things go bad or whatever, and the main kid like is like beating up the ghost, but he can't like beat the ghost. And this other dude is helping him who can fight with ghost stuff. I'm doing a really bad job of explaining this. I'm sorry. I'm just remembering it all right now.
No, it sounds wild.
Okay, so then the guy gets beat up who can fight the ghost, and then he's like, oh, damn, I don't know what to do. And he's like, oh, I'm going to eat this finger. And he just eats the cursed finger. And
the kid?
The kid, yeah. And
what the fuck?
He becomes like possessed by like a demon dude or whatever.
I mean, that's what happens when you eat a fucking finger.
Yeah. So he gets possessed by a demon dude, and like the guy's like, oh great, now I have to kill him or whatever. He kills the ghost like instantly, and then like he's just standing there, and this guy's like demon voice, haha, like haha, yes, this rules. I'm evil and I can just rule out here. And then like he has like 4 eyes, and the other 2 eyes just like look at the other 2 eyes and go like, no way, dude, what the hell, shut up. Like, that's how he talks. Or like, just he's like, that's stupid. This is my body. We're just, I'm gonna chill out. And the other guy's like, man, what the fuck's going on? And the episode ended from there, but it seems pretty fun. It's pretty hectic.
Oh my gosh.
The animation's really good. I really like the vibes of it. The most fucked up thing that I forgot to mention is that he's visiting his grandfather in the hospital throughout the first episode or whatever. When he goes to visit his grandfather says, just completely out of nowhere, he just goes, you know, you don't want to end up like me, kid. No one visiting you in the hospital when you're dying. You should save anyone you can, even if it's just one person. You gotta save them, okay? And then he just dies. What the hell? He just rolls over and dies after he says that.
Well, bye.
And he's just like, the kid's just like, that was really fucked up. I don't know why that happened. Like that. It was really something. It had like a hectic pace to it for sure, but I think it was like a totally like comprehensible pace, if you get what I mean. Like I feel like they really nailed like everything that they were trying to do, and it had good humor. And I know a lot of people really like this manga, so I'm looking forward to it. Sorry for that explanation. I feel like I really was just like, yeah, here's what happened. Blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, I recommend it, honestly. It was really fun. Yeah. I'm trying to remember if there's anything else I wanted to say about that, but I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, okay. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it sounds really fun.
Yeah, it is. I love the ghost stuff, you know? I feel like it's kind of scary in it, but it's a type of horror type thing that I really like, where it's not like comedic. I mean, it is comedic, but like comedic in a way that's like doesn't, you know, ruin the vibes, the spooky vibes or whatever.
Right.
I think they have a good balance there. Yeah. Okay, LV. I also watched Tokinawa.
Yeah. What do you think of it?
Hell of a first episode. I don't know. I was like,
it's so strange.
It's so strange. The vibes are
I'm not so
odd.
I don't know. I think it really is just that. It's just going to present this idea straight up like, hey, these young adults just get married, and that's that, and that's there's nothing else to it. But the whole thing where I mean, it seems like it's gonna be a cute thing, like yeah, and whatever. But then just the whole concept is so unrealistic and bizarre. Like they're going to the office to get married, like get on a full official certificate. Right? What was it you were saying? Yeah, they were. They didn't need their parents' permission to do that. It was so weird, or they didn't need some sort of second authority to sign off of it. They just like fucking went and did it and got their papers. It's like okay, weird. Like the weirdness in the show is just the utter banal, like just the utter mundane stuff in it. Like there's nothing fantastical going on, at least as far as I know. You know, if that's gonna happen down the line, then sure. But so far, the strangest points of the show is just the normalcy of how they're just getting married and don't really know each other, and that's that. The funny thing I read specifically, let me pull it up, was from from looking at the description of, the manga. Let me find it out. It was something like, in chapter 4, they start holding hands or something. And I was like, what the? Oh, here we go. As Nasa's the main guy, and Tsukasa's the girl he meets. As Nasa and Tsukasa's relationship develops, they start becoming more intimate. The couple begins to hold hands, embrace each other, and kiss by chapter 14. But they get married at the beginning and don't do any of that. Yeah, it's very odd. It's very odd. I mean, at its core, I believe it's just literally a series like here we're gonna show you like this straight couple and the cute things they do. It's just a very odd thing to just kick off like that if there's nothing else going on with it. Like it's like I'm like why is this not just like framed around like a normal like typical average couple where they're not like teenagers. Basically, I mean they're 18, but like they're basically still teenagers in a sense. Yeah, if they're not going to do anything special with it too. Just very odd.
There's so much to say about this series for me. Okay. So, first of all, the man gets hit by a car.
He gets it. Yeah.
Doesn't react.
Almost fucking dies.
He's like bleeding everywhere. His legs are broken and everything. He's in a coma for like apparently 3 months based on what he says, because the cherry blossoms are going.
As long as Kirito, yeah. Yeah.
He didn't save a fucking. I'd like. He's like. So he's like, after this girl saved me or whatever, this twisted woman.
He's like, I'm in love with her.
I'm giving up my whole life. I became a service worker at like 16 or something like that, and just somehow made $50,000, which love to know how he managed that one.
Yeah, I want to know. Right.
He moved out of his family's house, whatever. He's like 18. He's 18, right? At the end, I think. Right?
Yeah.
He's like 18. Okay. So yeah, like then when they get married, the thing that gets me is just like the guy's just like, yeah, fuck it, sure, whatever. Like, you know what? It's cool that young people are getting married, and I was just like, no, what? He should have just said like, oh, thank goodness.
The officiator, the guy giving them the approval. He says it's cool, young people are getting married.
Yeah, he may as well have just like been like, oh, thank goodness y'all are listening to Shinzo Abe, our Lord and Savior. Like, it's fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like very weird vibes. I did like just his like reaction to everything is just a fucking idiot. Of like, this feels like a scam when she's coming and having him fill out the marriage certificate, and she's just like smiles at him and he goes, "Scams are cool," or whatever. Like, it fills it out faster or whatever. I was like, that's pretty good. Yeah, I'm interested to see where it goes and where the sci-fi tag on AniList comes in to play.
It's so now that you bring it up, there's definitely this kind of weird. And again, this is definitely probably something from like the creator's experiences. Like, oh, maybe they know someone who was in a weird similar situation where they married young and that's just how their life is for some reason, and or in general, they just wanted to depict something from experience, or they know, like, maybe their parents were like this, or, like, they just know a couple, like, and they just, which is, again, what the series is like going into. I don't think it's going to be anything else beyond it just being a slice of life picture of, like, these two figuring out how to live with each other and whatnot, being married. But when that part came up, like when they went to the office to get married, to get their documents and papers, that definitely had a surface like Abenomics, like Abene layer to it, like surface to it vibes teaming up, like, oh, is like weird, we're gonna encourage people to just rush to marriage to have babies, sort of thing. But I don't want to make assumptions though, because I don't think that's what the person's intended purpose is, unless that actually comes out to be true. But
I don't think so. I think
hilarious
it's
stuff like this.
It's supposed to be like, comedic, whatever. I think it's supposed to be like you said, satirical, almost like
right.
Playing off of this thing in a sense. Yeah. I just think that guy was like a Shinzo Abe character or whatever, where he's just like, yes, young people getting married, woo. If two 18-year-olds came up to me and I had to decide whether they get married, I'd be like, oh, fucking what? Right.
I feel like there's some responsibility to at least you can't say no to them, like, unfortunately that's just like, you don't want to be judgmental, but I feel like in that position, I'm pretty sure a lot of people would probably comment on that, they can't say something to like make them go against that, because that's not their place technically, but I'm pretty sure realistically a lot of people would be like, oh, are you sure? They would like question it, right, a little bit before going out of their way to validate it. But this guy was like, great.
He didn't even read the permission slip that he asked for. He just took it and was like,
right.
All right, cool.
He just took it. And it's like, cool. Seems legit.
Here's the plant.
Yeah, here's your matrimony plant. Yeah.
Bizarre. Interested to see where that goes. All right, what else is there? John, do you have something else? Do you want to talk about something else?
Not really. I mean, I'd watched the new season of Love Live just because, like, we were having a fucking, like, sampler night, and so I watched the first episode of that, and I didn't care. It was fine, but also I didn't care. The music was pretty alright.
This is being made, like, 4 years after these girls were introduced?
I guess. I don't know. I don't know shit about Love Live.
No, it is. I'm just saying that. I don't know why they did this. There's a new generation of Love Lives that is being announced, like, currently, and they are just making an anime for these ones now.
That's so weird.
It's bizarre. It's been, like, some time since Sunshine, too, is why I'm so confused. Like, Sunshine was pretty close after the original one, and then this is, like...
Yeah.
Weird. It's weird.
I wonder why. I wonder if they were, like, worried that these ones suck or something.
I mean, by delaying it, yeah, I don't know if you're gonna get much interest, though, after that.
I feel like they killed the interest for them when they were announced by not having an anime or something to base the characters off of and stuff, I feel like they came out at a period where people were getting, burnout from how that Love Live gacha game or whatever, that was the main thing, was.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, that's it. I don't know. Nothing else.
Alright. Elvie, did you have anything else?
No, not really.
Alright. Okay. Well, we have a little break here. Elvie, did you pick an anime?
Yes, I do.
What is it?
I did. Yeah. And I thought about it. I was, like, juggling between several. So yeah, this week is my turn to pick an anime. I also was thinking about a movie, but then I realized some of the movies are like kind of inaccessible, which is very annoying.
Yeah.
Even though some of them are licensed, it's like, how come I can't just But in lieu of, like, I think something we talked about and I think kind of indirectly referenced last time we were looking through the previews, and in regards to, like, all this old anime resurfacing, either remakes or just being brought up for nostalgia's sake, I am going to recommend, for what we're going to watch next, Angel Beats.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah, and you can find it anywhere. It's like on multiple platforms. I think, like, it was even that way when it debuted. They were really going hard promoting this series way back when. Saying way back when as if it's like ancient. It's not that ancient, but it certainly, I think, is an interesting show to rewatch now. in reflecting like how a lot of like 2010s anime onwards, especially like post Haruhi, and stuff like that, like it, like in all those other romance drama anime and whatnot. Like I think it's a very interesting to look back on and see like how in how many ways has it aged poorly. Not because maybe there's anything offensive. I don't recall anything offensive. If there is, I'm sorry.
Right.
I will be surprised again because I don't remember a lot of details of it. But yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting like time capsule to look at, because I think it has a lot of elements of like how a lot of like anime of that genre was back then, or like what a lot of people consider to be really good anime. Like people really like lauded this thing when it ended and came out. I remember the finale being like a big deal to a lot of people around that time. So yeah, you can find it on High Dive, Crunchyroll, Amazon Prime. Whoa. So multiple places you can find it.
I am. You know what I am going to do here? Maybe from now on, we should do this beforehand. There is that website, Does the Dog Die? Where they actually, well, it's smart because it's for people who have like different triggers and all that.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm just gonna.
If you have certain triggers, it's definitely.
Yeah, I'm gonna scroll through this because Angel Beats is actually on here, so I'm gonna scroll through this and see if there's anything that's too specific. Okay, it says that there is domestic violence.
Yes.
And child abuse.
Yes.
And just a lot of
that I recall.
A lot of other kinds of violence. So I guess there you go. There's some warnings for domestic violence, child abuse, and just violence in general.
Right.
So we'll do that from now on. I'll scroll through to see what's on there, and that should be a pretty good way to just check and see if there's anything on a surface level.
Yeah, no, definitely, definitely. Thanks for that. And it was mostly me referencing, like, I don't know if anything racist happens in it, or any, like, offensive terms, are said in it.
Fair.
I don't think so. But it will be a collective discovery process. But that's more important, I would say. Like, actual, like, visual content, in terms of, like, potentially, like, violent things or emotionally charged things. Right. Yeah, that's cool. All right, yeah. That's cool that's on that, too. Yeah. Like, I didn't expect anime to be on that catalog.
I mean, it's all crowdsourced, so, people just go through and do it for things that they care about.
Right. But that'll be the pick of the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
Angel Beats.
I will say really quick, we did have 2 other things in the Ask box. One of them was just someone saying Nipa, so there you go. And then Gregory Zero does have a question. Why is the new Love Live school so big? That is a valid question. It is fucking gigantic. It is like...
How big is it? How many buildings?
It's not that there's multiple buildings. It's that it's one building, and it's like one of the largest buildings I've ever seen. It's like 2 malls stapled together big. Like, it's fucking huge. There's a part where... they're sitting, the 2 girls, because they're, like, talking about, starting the idol group or whatever, and they're sitting together talking to each other about it, and they're like, well, we should go join the idol club or whatever the hell, and they stand up and go slightly to the left to, like, I guess go to where all the clubs meet, and there's just this gigantic indoor, like, fields, just like a soccer field and a tennis court, and there's 4 floors of office buildings for the like different meeting rooms. There was a room that they go into, like you were talking about the noodle drop shit. There's like a noodle drop club in there, and it's like, I don't know, maybe that's just like a joke recently or some shit. I don't know, but it's so large. I don't know. I couldn't tell you why, but it is extremely fucked up and large.
What's up with that? Is that why they want to save it?
Maybe.
I think they could make some decisions to, trim the school down, rent some rooms out, and then the school can be saved.
It's not anything pressing. It's just the girls like idols. They're like sitting there together, and they hear an idol singing, and they're like, wow, that's cool. We should do that. And then they go to join the idol club, and then I think the student council president comes up and is like, no, we're shutting it down. They don't really give a reason why, but maybe that's what we'll find out soon enough. Or you all, someone will, because I'm not watching it. I watched the one episode and I was like, I've had my fill. I'm good.
Yeah, I don't know anyone who's watching it really. Like, I know a lot of people who are crazy into Love Live, and I think they're just all like, you know,
Done?
I don't know, into fucking VTubers now or something.
If I know anyone active in like Love Live, they're very much stick with the generation that
That they started in.
they prefer the most. Yeah. And I don't, and I just feel bad for whoever anyone is into these set of girls, because I don't hear much murmurs for them. I just hear a lot of people for like, you know, the OG girls and then Sunshine, but other than that, no one's really.
Yeah, I think
not really hearing a lot about these.
I think the only one I've ever seen substantially is the sketchpad mask girl or whatever who just did, like, I see her everywhere.
And I didn't even know that was a Love Live.
Yeah,
you know?
for a
like,
little
what?
while I didn't either, because I didn't even know there was a third generation of Love Live. I was like,
Right.
what? Yeah. I guess like they probably are making this because they just launched that new gacha or whatever just a little bit ago, the All-Star Festival or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's all of them. Yeah. All right, so that's everything. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Sorry for the. I just didn't. I forgot to ask LV, so that's why that sounded weird when we just asked. But it's fine. All right. If you want to send in opinions, you do that to Tumblr. Wait, videogamechuchu.tumblr.com/ask, or you can send it to us on Twitter, and I'll throw it in for you. I will do it. If you want to get episodes of the show 1 week early, $3. That's all it is. Get early access to that and our other stuff over on patreon.com/VGCC. Angel Beats again is what we chose. You have a whole month to watch Angel Beats. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it then. Yeah. All right. Feeling pretty good about the new season, I have to say. I think I'm pretty posy so far. I think there's a lot of good stuff.
Yeah,
Me too.
There's a very vast like variety of genres. I think.
Yeah, I mean, like, when we were going through that list, like 44 fucking shows, like there better be. I hope. Yeah, I was looking at the list earlier, just like I was like, oh, I gotta watch some before the show. And I was just like, oh my god, there's so many things already. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Thank you both for joining me, and thank you all for listening.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you all have a good day, night, week, month, year. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.